What is going on, everyone, to another episode of Kickin with Kachi, where we highlight individuals that are taking their industry by storm. And today, we have the honor, pleasure, and distinction of sitting down with none other than Claire Yotts. Claire Yotts, thank you for coming in and kicking it with me today. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, bro. It's good, guys.
So first, like the name, the persona, right? How did you start developing this idea, brand, style for yourself?
So I started making music my sophomore year, or actually around COVID. So like sophomore year of college. I'm 22 right now. And it all kind of started out. I've always had a passion for music, and then I kind of had to just get over the fact of like being afraid to share my own music. Um, and kind of, it takes a lot of like courage to put yourself out on social media and just get ready, like, yeah, like, and to push your own stuff that you've kept to yourself for so long. So it's scary, especially with social media nowadays. But the branding and kind of like my image and everything, and my style and sound kind of came together throughout my process over the past year and a half of making music. I feel like more recently, everything's kind of come together, and I kind of have this like melodic, kind of pluggy and be, very like wavy, kind of sound that leans into that more like pitch sped up, kind of like TikTok sound a little bit. But I'm all about like melodies, catchy hooks, especially when it comes to, I'm also about like shorter songs, not as like as long of songs. But yeah, like everything kind of came together like with the branding and stuff more recently. It definitely takes a while, like as an artist and as a newer artist, to kind of like fall into place and figure out what feels right. And especially when you're doing it all independently, like, you have no help and everything, so you kind of have to go with the flow and figure it out. But yeah.
And then you're from Boston, Massachusetts, right? So this, I don't know if this is particularly a Boston sound, but were there any sort of influences or any sort of artistic people, creative people that helped you sort of say, oh, I can take that from them and help develop my sound, or I like what they're doing here, I can attach that to my sound? Were there people like that you kind of came across?
Yeah, so I mean, Boston, there's not as much like roots with music out here. Of course, you have New York City, like pretty close. But like when it comes to like the newer sound, you do have some like newer guys coming out of here with in the underground, like Richard Miri, Dev Stacks. There's a lot of big guys that are coming out up here, and I think they do still like live around here, like, or reside. Well, like it is their hometown, but I would say like those guys, like that kind of like seeing them like come out of the city and not they, I mean, they don't quite like represent, like, because there is no sound like here, it's very hard to kind of like ground your sound to the city when like there's no like foundation of like music and hip hop. Yeah, and of course you have like Jonah or Lucas and the guys that came out of like Western Mass and stuff. But like when it comes to influence for me, it's a lot of like the younger underground guys, and girls like X Love Flo and Soja Brat. There's like a lot of like there's just great female artists that coming out. I mean, even with Pink Panthers and stuff, like all those girls with the kind of like cloudy, like garage, UK garage sound. And if you got Ice Spice, but Ice Spice came out a little later than like when I started making music. But yeah, just like all the underground newer guys that you see posted on pages like Underground Sound and stuff like that. But yeah, I'd say mostly those are like my big influences, and I'm mostly influenced by I'd have to say like Destroy Lonely, Tana, and I love Lil Peep. Like I've loved Lil Peep since I was like younger, like 2015, 16, 17. So definitely like that emo cloud wave. I feel like that impacted like my style and my image a lot. But yeah.
And then in getting into females in music, what sort of challenges or non-challenges did you sort of face breaking into an industry that is very heavily male dominated, right? And then speaking about their there's a certain lane that almost is almost a mold of the perfect artist, right? And it essentially always is male. So what sort of things did you sort of have to break into or sort of have to adapt or not adapt? And what sort of experience did you have to, breaking out as a female artist?
Yeah, I think that that's like one of the like my favorite questions that I'll be asked by like even if it's just friends and stuff. I feel like people as a female artist, especially like doing more rap stuff, people are much quicker to hate when you post on
Right,
TikTok, social
right,
media, yeah, like Instagram, just because people don't like different and people don't like they're not comfortable with the fact of
right,
seeing like a female and hearing a female in that genre. And I do completely like understand that like it's it like right now it's like awesome to see like Ice Spice and Pink Pan, like they had like a Billboard top 10 and all, like it's amazing to see all these female artists um like going crazy, especially like I've always loved Nicki Minaj, like who doesn't love Nicki
right,
Minaj,
right,
like much respect to Nicki. But I think that when it comes to my music personally, and even like as a gay female, it's very hard like to you see these females like and a lot of them are over sexualized and like overzealous
right,
with their
right,
music,
right, right,
and that's what, but mostly because it's what sells and that's what the labels are telling these artists to do. And of course it's like all about like even with Cardi B and WAP and all that, it's about like feminism and being proud of the female body and stuff like that. But when it comes to being like a gay female, it's very weird to have I don't have a selling point on the fact of like I'm not over like sexualizing my music. I'm
right,
not talking
right,
about, you know what I mean? So
right,
it's very like a weird, it's different. Like it's a different lane that I'm in because I'm not um like branding myself in that way.
right,
So I feel like I do automatically get the more comparisons to guys and male artists
right,
because
right,
I'm not differentiating myself in that way. Um,
right.
but it is great to see like all these female artists just like going insane. And even in like the underground hip hop scene right now, like all these girls, like it's just like very even like BK the Rula is one of my favorite artists and is a huge inspiration to me. So like especially with her, and she's also a gay female. So it's just great to see like these artists, just female artists just going crazy.
Right,
But yeah.
right. Yeah, and I would say also like with the rise of, well, I would say it all really started with Missy Elliott with the idea of not having to
Yeah.
be as you're saying, overly sexualized or overly feminized, as society likes to put it, and still have a place in music, right? And then fast forward, we have Young M.A., we have Jen Carter in New York City, right? We have these, like you said, women who are women, right? They're but always compared to men because they're not over
Exactly.
sexualized, right? But do you think that sort of also gives you an advantage or gives you sort of like an equal playing field where, even though you are a female MC, but then you're more or less compared to the men, does that essentially just put your music on just listen to the sound sort of level aside from now is a gender bias?
Yeah, I think that it definitely sets me up like kind of like puts me in a different lane than a lot of
Right,
other female artists because I think that like you said, people are more listening to the sound in the music instead of looking at my image. But at the same
right,
time, it's funny because once you start like as your audience starts to increase and things become more serious in your career, you have to like really figure out what you want your branding and image to be. And I don't have that like I kind of have a clean slate with that and I can decide what I want to do. Um and it is like disappointing that like even um like that the music industry automatically wants to over sexualize or over like I
right,
said over feminize these females. um but like it is like something that I'm grateful for to like have this clean slate and be like how do I want to represent myself and my image and my brand as a female artist. But yeah, I think that does it may not be like quite an advantage, more of it's like I see it as like more of an opportunity
right,
to
right.
be like kind of like play with the open playing field and see how I want to go about like my marketing and my promotion for my music.
Right. And now coming towards music, right? Like you are already no album, but a bunch of singles out, essentially.
Yeah.
So where is the thought process in putting out music? This is the songs you want to put out as uh essentially bodies of your work, right? And then eventually, as we get to the next question, is there an EP, an album? Is there something that's gonna be coming as some sort of compilation of all these things?
Yeah, so I mean, for the past like year and a half, I've just been dropping like single after single after single, and
Right,
like
right.
it's pretty cool though because I can see like if you like look at like my first single compared to like which is like the first song I ever made compared to like now, like the evolution of my sound is just like night and day.
Right.
Um, I just like felt like with social media and with like once I started to drop single after single, I kind of saw like um it was just working for me. Like I wanted to get to a point where I had enough listeners and I had enough people wanting to listen to my music that I would drop like a small project or an
Right.
EP that people will tune into instead of just putting a like ton of effort into a project and putting it out there for no one to listen to. I kind of want it to be like I want people to be have an audience and people to be there to receive that like to have ears. Um and I feel like with my singles so far, they've just like I've enjoyed like kind of being able to switch it up every single and not have
Right,
to
right.
yeah, not to have this like kind of story within an EP or an album and rather just like completely like go from like left to right field and just come from with different sounds every drop, which has been really really kind of exciting and I've enjoyed like the creative journey that I've had with it. Like however, I think I am getting to a point where I would love to drop and planning on dropping like a smaller EP, like maybe like
Right.
six song EP. Um just because I feel like I've gotten to a point where I do have like a smaller fan, like introduction, like introductory fan base, and a good group of solid fan, like at least like a small circle of fans who would listen to the like an EP. And it's just like creative wise, like I do want to like start connecting and pulling my music together to create a story or to create like a feeling
Right,
of
right.
emotion through like a series of songs. So yeah,
Right,
it's
right.
definitely in the books.
And then in going into the visuals that you have two visuals, you have a couple visuals actually out that are accompanied to these songs as well that are also greatly different in how they're composed and stuff like that. So is
Yeah.
that also something that you're experimenting with? What is your hand in developing these visuals? Are you also sort of co-directing these things as well? And is that something that you're trying to do moving forward and have a little bit more ownership over your visuals and your music videos?
Yeah, so that's also a great question. Like with my music videos, like I'm all about finding a videographer that has a very unique style. And if I feel like that fits the style of the song well enough, then I would love to work with that videographer. But I love like the fact of like not only like just creating visuals for a song and telling a story within the visuals. I just love like literally just like performing the song for
Right,
video but
right.
letting the videographer put the style on the video and on the song. So instead of like telling a story through the video, I love for the videographer for it to be like a true collaboration of styles and
Right, right,
branding.
right.
Yeah, so you'll see with like the self-made video, you have like a VHS type, like old school type um music video, and then the song is extremely like laid back, melodic, wavy, very very chill. And I just loved how like I just loved the comparison styles. I shot that in New York too, so just with like the brick and the cobblestone and all of that like in the city, I just felt like it looked so dope. um and so I just love to kind of blend together different styles of two different types of artists, like a videographer and a musical artist. And um,
Right.
and I love working with like I do love like sharing my ideas with the videographers, but most times I actually prefer to let them do their work
Just
because
do their thing, right.
yeah, because that's what they do. And
Right.
I do it is my song, but at the same time, like like they're an artist in their own, like they're an artist
Right,
as well.
right.
They're creative as well. So I love to give them their kudos and give them the creative space to work. And like I'll bounce ideas off them, but mostly it's all always a collaboration. Like I never like to like take over, or like if they're like most of the people I work with I talk with for a while before we actually shoot. So yeah, but I just love like the creative energy when it comes to shooting visuals, and yeah.
Nice, nice. And I was gonna say with the collaboration, living in Boston, Massachusetts, what is the experience like in finding other people to collaborate with, team up with, and help build your vision as well as like you're saying, they're artists in their own right, building their own vision and building their own creativity.
Yeah, it's definitely, and I'm not gonna like lie, like it's extremely, extremely hard coming from Boston and like trying to pursue a music career.
Right, right.
I would say like anything creative, like it's a lot of, I mean, we're like the mecca of like medical, like call it like you have Harvard, MIT,
Right,
like
right, right.
right, yeah. So like
Yeah, no
it's like
one's
it's
going to
all
Boston for music.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly, bro. So like it's all about like this like science tech, like tech medical, like with the college, like college city. So it's very, very hard to do anything really like artistic here. But I mean it pushes you more to it forces you to make connections over social media. It forces you more to, you know, I take trips to New York, I take trips to LA when I can.
Right,
Like
right.
I'm in college, so like money short, but like I try my best to take advantage of opportunities and breaks that I have and go network and meet people that I've been talking to on like IG or Discord or whatever it might be. So it's all about, I think that when you come from somewhere that doesn't really have a great scene for what you're doing, it's all about creating the environment around yourself through social media. And like
Right,
that can be
right.
overwhelming at times, but you can build it, like you can build it throughout time. And it's all about, you know, like just being, it's all about being like kind and confident, like reaching out to people, not being afraid to like shoot over DMs, like just take your shot. Like it's not, even if they
Right.
have like, you know, like 100,000 followers, it doesn't matter. Like you never know what that, like you never know until you know. So I think that it's all about just like kind of like taking the time to like show your appreciation for somebody's work, or telling people that you enjoy their work, or being like I loved this video, I loved this song. Like it's all about just kind of like showing support and love, and you'll get it back as long, like if you are confident enough to um reach out, and if you're like
Right.
kind and like you're not being like a troll or a hater on on socials, and you're actually like admiring people's work that you enjoy, and you know, kind of not like gatekeeping and like expressing that to them, because it means a lot, like as an artist and as a creative. So
Yeah, definitely. And I would say like now moving forward, like you said, you want to drop an EP, a short EP of some sort. What is there anything planned? Is there anything set in stone that we should look forward to now that myself and everyone watching this interview are introduced to Claire Yotts? What should there be? What should they be looking forward to in the coming months, within the year, next year? What should we be looking forward to?
yeah, definitely, I'll definitely have an EP coming this summer. I would say probably around like July. I definitely got like a smaller project, which is going to be like the first project, like you said, that I'll ever, or that I'm my first project that I'll release. But yeah, it'll probably be like a 6 song EP. I have a ton of songs in the files, and a lot of songs that I feel like have great potential that I've kind of just been sitting on my computer. So it'll probably kind of include like, it might be a mix of like bunch of different genres and sounds
Right,
on
right.
one, you know, like on a smaller, and that's why I'm gonna keep it as a smaller EP. I'm thinking I'm not gonna make it like a album size, just because for an album I want to take the time to create like fluidity within my music and songs from track to track. But with the EP, I kind of want to like use it as um a way to kind of like experiment and just kind of put in a bunch of different, and just keep people entertained
Right, right, right.
on the project. Yeah, so it's gonna probably include like a maybe like one or two older songs, and then some new stuff, a bunch of new stuff. But I'm just excited to just keep dropping and dropping and dropping. I have a ton of songs that I've been working on that I've finished. Um, I have and I'm excited to just collaborate with more artists that I enjoy listening to and stuff like that as well. So hopefully a few collaborations in the future as well.
No, definitely, definitely. Looking forward to that EP and looking forward to hopefully you getting those collaborations, of course.
Yes.
So, and I love to get into, a little bit of the nitty gritty personal, so anybody watching this, I don't know if you've seen anybody, but maybe some lady will be like, hey, Claire's kind of cute. Maybe she said something in the interview that I got to get her some. I don't know. I don't know. But the first thing I want to ask is, and, maybe this is going to be a nice little connection, but what is one song that you put out that someone has to listen to say, this is Claire Yotts? This is the song you have to listen to make you a fan.
Oh, this is a good question. I would say I'm gonna go with Basic, my song with Southside Silhouette. And I think it's because I didn't even have like a video or anything for that, but it holds like a special place because first of all, like just getting collab from Southside, like I loved his music. I do love his music. I'm a huge fan of him. And it was just one of these moments where I was like, this is so dope. Like this is crazy.
Right.
I also feel like it's a song that kind of encapsulates my whole sound, like from like its simplicity to like it's just like kind of short, choppy lyrics with like the ad libs that kind of follow up and like a call and response type thing. And they're like high pitched, kind of whispery ad libs. I also feel like it's just like it's a shorter song. It has a super simple beat. The beat's produced by Pink Grills, who is my favorite producer. And I love hopping on his beats. But yeah, Basic is just kind of like summarizes my like sound as an artist. And I think that like is like it was actually one of the first songs to kind of gain me some traction as well. So it does hold like a special place, especially like on TikTok and stuff. But I just love its simplicity, and I think it like kind of just gets to the point of what like the type of like the feeling and the energy that you'll get from my music as a listener.
Right. Nice, definitely. And hopefully, hey, I'm not gonna say I started any connections, but if they know how to slide in your DM to listen to that song, I'm just saying I need to get an invite to the wedding. But
yes.
So I saw this on Facebook. I thought it was a great question. What is the cheapest thing someone could buy you for your love?
Oh my God. That's a dope question. Cheapest thing someone can buy me from like a physical thing?
Yeah. Like for me, it's do-rags. I love do-rags.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I love different color do-rags. So if you get me like some like Naruto do-rags, some like anime do-rags, oh yeah, it's over. Like I'm already on one knee.
That's fire. I'm trying to think. Oof. Honestly, like anything, like I would probably have to say I was gonna say any food, but coffee. Like I am like it's like
Oh
even
yeah.
but like I'm not like a coffee addict, but like if I wake up in the morning or like if I'm like going to class or something and like you got me like my girlfriend, I have a girlfriend and she like if she has a coffee for me or something, like I'm just like it's the best day, like already.
Oh yeah.
I'm just such a like I don't know, like I don't even drink coffee like well, I guess I do. I'm lying to myself. I drink coffee every day. But like just like a coffee from like anywhere. But like I'm done. Like I just think it like changes like my whole mood in the day. It's just like a great way to start my morning. Especially like if like I make it like at home, so it doesn't hit as hard as like if you get it from like Starbucks or something.
Oh yeah, and it's like if it's free because someone else bought it. It's like,
it's just like it's like a mini like a mini gift. It's just like win-win. And that's just something. Exactly. I'm all about like simple stuff like too. So like that's probably like even like your do-rag answer, like the same type of stuff, like just something simple that like you just enjoy. But yeah, I'd say coffee for sure.
Nah, fun anecdote though. I was hanging out with my girlfriend. We were on a trip, and then I have this thing where I always have to clean my ears after I shower. Like I get cotton swab. So
I'm the same way.
And like she thinks it's weird, but I'm like, I don't know. It's just weird to me that
Yeah.
if I'm cleaning myself, my ears have to get clean as well. But
Yeah.
so we're on a trip, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta go to Target and get some cotton swabs because I just came off the plane. She was like, no, babe, I have some packed already. I said, oh, you want to get married? Oh,
When they read when like your significant other reads your mind like that, like your girlfriend, it's just like the best feeling. You're like,
right.
this is the best thing ever.
So
It's
definitely understand the coffee thing because I'm a
yes,
coffee
sir.
addict too. I just had coffee before I did this interview. So
Yes.
so I go to Boston. What are some spots that you feel like I have to hit up?
Oof. My favorite spot probably. Sorry, I was taking something up. My favorite spot when I was in high school. I lived like 30 minutes out of the city, so when I was in high school, I used to go with my friends. And we used to like just like walk. It was like the middle of summer, like walk around outside. But like our destination was always Bodega, which is this store.
Okay.
It's this like kind of streetwear store, but it's a sneaker store. But it's like hidden behind, so it's like there's like you walk in, it's like a fake convenience store, a bodega.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then you open a vending machine, and it's just like a whole dope ass store.
Oh,
Yeah. So like,
okay.
but like honestly, like, but like just like going to bodega, because like again, like the art, like even like fashion and stuff isn't huge like out in Boston. So like that spot just to like look at the sneakers that like I couldn't have and all the clothes that like I couldn't afford.
Right.
I just enjoyed it, and like it was just kind of like a dope spot. There's also like a skate shop that we used to go to, Orchard Skate Shop, and they have like a mini like ramp inside and stuff like that. But like honestly, like any like there's like a I think that like the stores like that hold like such a special like place in Boston because it's not like flooded with like in New York and stuff, like it's
Right.
in LA, it's like flooded with stores like that. Whereas in Boston, you don't get like the like mass
Yeah.
like production of these stores. So like just like those couple of like five, like four of them, like that's like it's just like some dope places to hit up if like um you're here. And of course, like the sports here are so
Oh yeah,
unbelievable.
obviously you guys are going
Yeah,
crazy in the playoffs right now.
yeah.
My bad.
So like
Right.
exactly. So like you gotta go to like at least one sports game, like whether it's the Celtics and like go to TD Garden, but like all the like everywhere Gillette Stadium is crazy, like TD Garden's crazy, like Fenway Park's legendary. I'm not a big fan of baseball, but like just at least if you gotta go to one sports game because you're in Boston, and that's like the one thing like Boston is like known for its sports. So definitely a sports, any type of sports game.
Nah, definitely. And to end it off, right? To end off the interview, I definitely love doing this, but knowing that someone's gonna watch this and also be inspired to follow their passions, follow their dreams. So, what sort of advice could you give? Just 3 life lessons that you've learned that you can just share and pass on to that next person trying to, follow their dreams.
Absolutely. I'd say don't listen to what other people's judgments about what you're like with what you're pursuing and what you're doing.
Right.
I think that kind of means like everybody has their own journey, and I think that people are very, very quick to judge like about like what you're doing, and people just kind of put it all on this like silver platter and like be like, oh, like if you're gonna be like a nurse, you're automatically better than the person that's trying to be like a artist because like it's more of a guarantee and you have to go to school. So I just say like don't listen to the people that are like judging you, even if like you like if you're kind of getting like side eyes for them for like when you're telling them what you're trying to do, just kind of like block it out and ignore it. I mean, you don't have to like get like spit out hate and like be like and like start a fight or anything, but I think it's just more of like kind of just letting it slide off your shoulders, like being very, very like transparent when it comes to that and not letting people like dictate how you like or like not letting people control your passion because that's the one thing that you can hold close to you. I'd say the second thing is to, and it's like kind of a cliche, but like I think that it's really, really, really important to trust your gut and like go for like whatever you feel like you're meant to do or what you like love. Like it doesn't matter what it is. I think that again in society, like we are like kind of brainwashed by this path that we have to follow to go to, and
Right,
I'm
right,
taking the path, and like I went to high school and I went to college. I'm gonna graduate college in a month. Like I'm going through the path, and it like it's great and all, but one thing that I've learned is like you can't like I've stayed true to myself throughout the whole way, but it took a lot because like I'm
right,
surrounded by people who are becoming rocket scientists and
right, right,
and
right,
brain surgeons and and entrepreneurs and um have like a very um black and white degree, and for somebody who's doing a more creative field, it's hard not to get like to question yourself.
right,
So I think it's
exactly.
important to always stay true to just like trust your gut and like be and like stay solid as a person for yourself and for your
Right,
own work,
right,
and like trust your like know your worth and know that like just because this person on paper may sound smarter or better, that doesn't mean that you're any less insignificant than them.
right,
And then
right.
the last thing I would say um is probably to not, I think this is another cliche, but again, it's something that I've learned since even before I started making music, and it's just like to not be afraid. And like that kind of goes with like trusting your gut. Um, like don't be, I think that a lot of people today kind of like act like a little bit two-faced, or they're like they kind of they're switch up, they're not like just like straight
Right,
shot
right,
like straight shooters. And I think that it's because people are worried about people liking them, like they want to change their but not really beliefs, but like or like what their opinion is because of somebody else's opinion, and they'd switch
right,
up that
right,
quick just so that person likes them. um and I think that that allows you to surround yourself with people that you're not going to have a healthy or positive relationship with. But if you stay true to yourself and you're not afraid to stay true to yourself, um I think that you end up surrounding yourself with a great group of people that support you for who you are. So if like you're too afraid be to like speak your mind, you're too afraid to um to like represent who you are as a person, your belief, your morals and values, you're going to end up attracting people that don't belong
align with
around
those
you.
as well. Right,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So I think not being afraid to like be grounded in yourself, and to not being afraid to be your true self is extremely important.
right,
That all comes with being an artist, like especially like all of that. You're gonna like in the beginning and even now still, you're gonna get a lot of hate because you're doing something that a lot of people are too afraid to do, and you're gonna get like shot down a bunch, and you're gonna get like it just goes up and down with
right, right,
traction, and you get down and like you have to be posting all the time because you gotta stay in front of people's faces, and it gets draining. And like you just gotta like stay true to yourself and listen to yourself and just keep pushing, because that's the only way that if the only way that you're not going to succeed is if you give up. So like if
right.
you keep pushing, then eventually you'll get to where you want to be.
No, definitely. And honestly, I can't think of any other way to end the interview than on those beautiful words. So thank you so much for sharing not only your story, but these life lessons that you had to essentially grow painfully, unfortunately, but grew fortunately, gracefully as well through it. So thank you for definitely sharing your story with us today. I appreciate it.
Of course, bro. Thank you so much. And those were like awesome questions, and I enjoyed it.
Nah, I'm glad. Hey, I've been doing this for a long time, so I'm glad that I still got it. So,
Yes, sir, you do.
but thank you, Claire Yotts, for coming in and kicking it with me. It was definitely a dope conversation. Thank you, everyone that came in, watched this interview. You can watch this interview at the DC Voice on Instagram and on YouTube, and you can check out my girl Claire Yotts at Claire Yotts on Instagram. That's Claire. Make sure I have it right. Claire, Claire. Yotts is Yotts. That's on Instagram. No spaces, dots, or exclamation points. Straight through. Check out her music on SoundCloud, Apple Music, Spotify, and check her out on TikTok as well. Same name. Hey, it's Kickin with Kachi, and we're out of here, man. Peace.